good to have you back. It's one thing to be in business and another to have a vision of expansion and see where the market lies. Lagos being a city of about 20 million residents, there's a truckload of issues, mainly traffic. Now, a ride-hailing app called Gokada and Lagos Boats have unveiled a boat business model named G-Boat in order to reduce the gridlock on Lagos roads. Joining me in the studio to speak more about this development is the founder of Benny American University and founder of Lagos Boats, and also in partnership with Gokada's G-Boat initiative, Gossy Ukanwoke. It's good to have you with us.
Thank you.
And good morning.
Good morning.
All right, this initiative, G-Boat, how did it come into being?
So last year we started a company called Lagos Boats.
Yeah.
Lagos, I think one of the biggest features of Lagos is the waters of Lagos. We have the creeks, we have the lagoon, we have the ocean side.
Indeed.
And we started Lagos Boats to just take advantage of that water because there are lots of things you can do in Lagos, but we're not fully utilizing the opportunities on the waterways. Yeah. So Lagos Boats just provided an opportunity for people to get on the boats and see Lagos from a different side of Lagos.
Yeah.
And this year, Gokada, in their plan to expand, reached out to Lagos Boats to say, hey, we have the people, we have the mass market, you're doing more luxury boat business. We can actually come together with your expertise, with your access to the industry, to form a JV, a joint venture that actually allows us to move people in Lagos. Most people do not know it, but the mainland and the island are not that far.
Okay.
But the gridlock makes it really far. You can spend an hour in traffic, but on the water it's just 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Indeed.
From all parts of Lagos. Literally every part of Lagos is about 20 minutes away from each other.
Yeah.
If you go from water. So, we got into conversation and we realized that it was a good way to take advantage of what we are both good at, mass transportation and boating.
Yeah, and just like you said, the waterways have been underutilized for some time now. But be that as it may, what are the prospects there in terms of more commercial viability, as it were?
I think the biggest, I'll start from the impediment, but the biggest impediment is people being comfortable to go on a boat. Once people are comfortable to go on a boat, it's a huge opportunity because literally you're moving tens of thousands of people on the water every single day.
Yeah.
Just people who are going to work in the morning and going back home in the evening. And the moment you start to have the supporting infrastructure that allow that to happen, you move people from the mainland to the island in the morning and from the island to the mainland in the morning. It's a huge prospect. Indeed. Just imagine all the people going to work in the morning, moving them by water and reducing their time in traffic from an hour to 20 minutes.
Indeed, and you talked about that issue of trying to get people to have more confidence on the waterways. But on the long term, if that confidence is increasing, how do you foresee the infrastructure development in terms of getting more boats, to cater for the volume of people now interested in such a venture?
I'll use our use case as an example.
All right.
Last month when we started with a boat and 3 routes, just Lekki, Ikoyi, and VI. But the demand has grown so much that we're now adding more routes, more boats within a month.
Okay.
And people are getting comfortable. As more people are telling the stories of, hey, I was on a boat, it was 5 minutes. I was on a boat, it was 10 minutes. More people are getting comfortable, and then we're seeing more demand. And people are beginning to request for more stops. People are beginning to request for more routes. So you can actually see the exponential growth happening just by delivering the service the right way. And I think one of the biggest things we've done is to actually just take people through the safety procedures. Almost like when you get into an airplane and you go through the checks and you go through an information session that lets you understand what to do and the things you need to wear and your life jackets, etc., and the call signs and all of that.
Indeed.
And people get comfortable when you give them that level of information, and they tell their friends and they tell their colleagues because they go to work together.
Yeah, very good. Now, such a laudable venture, as it were, but what are the challenges, the immediate challenges?
I've already mentioned one. People being comfortable.
All right.
That's the first one. The second one is, the water transport is still quite expensive to operate. So costs always will become a challenge. People having to pay for the full value of water transport.
Yeah.
Those are like the 2 biggest ones. The great thing is the government, over the last couple of years, or like I said, over the last 1 year, and even the last few months, has taken steps continuously to actually improve access to the water infrastructure. So there are a few more new jetties that have been built. There are a few new jetties being built. I think last month, the larger jetty on the mainland in Bariga was launched.
Yeah.
So the more you have the standard jetties opening up, the easier it becomes to actually deliver the service. But I think the last one is also the access to the jetties. So having easier access to the jetties where the roads are better and people can get access to the jetties, it becomes a lot easier for them to use the service.
Very good. Now, what about competition on the waterways? We witnessed what happened in the commercial motorbike market. There were several to choose from, including Gokada as well. Is the market heating up?
Yeah, it is.
One would argue probably that's why you ventured into this.
Well, we started it we're the first to go into it the way we have gone into it.
Indeed.
But after we announced that we were starting the service, we've also gotten a few players in the sharing business, transportation sharing business, also announced that they want to get into the business.
All right.
It does two things for us. It shows that there's prospects and we're not making any mistakes. And the other one, it also shows the confidence of investors. It shows the confidence of players in the industry, in the mass transportation industry, in the waterways. So it gives us confidence that we're doing something right.
And where does technology play in all of this in terms of how you get people to engage in it?
For now, we just have our web app. So you just go to gboat.ng and you choose your route and you pay and you show up at the jetty with your tickets and you get on a boat at the scheduled time. So there are different scheduled times throughout the day. But I think in the long run, being able to do a single transaction, maybe you can be in your house, a bike picks you up, a go-kart bike picks you up, takes you to the jetty, you do the water side of the transport. When you get off the jetty on the other side, the bike picks you up to your end destination. So that's what technology really will make it simple for you to actually see when the boat is available, look at the times available, and you just do your request and go.
Yeah, let's look at it on a bigger scale here. Fine. We're talking about hauling people from one end of a place to another. But what are the prospects of tourism here? In other climes you have all those big ferries. They take you around the bays and harbors, and you see how the whole place is. So are there any plans for the plan? I know you just started, but probably on the long term, partnership and to go into such ventures.
Yeah. So the great thing is, like I mentioned, originally Lagos Boats. Yeah. Just started as a charter business for people to relax. Sightsee in Lagos, go to the different key monuments and side attractions in Lagos. So you go to VI to Lekki, look at Lekki Ikorodu Bridge, and just relax and see Lagos. So it's actually scaling that up to accommodating more people and having bigger ferries and bigger boats to have that running frequently. So at the moment, it's not that frequent. You have to actually request. But I guess in the future, as that comfort builds up, you're able to have ferries that are standby. People show up at certain times, and they can get a dinner on the boats. They can get lunch service. There's so much to do. You can finish from here and then you go have lunch on the boats, relax, have a business meeting. There's so much you can do. You can have a business meeting just about anything,
Talking about the business aspect of it, so how profitable is this venture?
We have great prospects as to how profitable it will become.
Okay.
We're still investing in the business. We're still building up and buying infrastructure, buying the tools, buying boats, which are pretty expensive. But based on the revenue that we've seen coming in so far, it shows that we're making the best decisions.
But how would you describe the evolution of the transport system in Lagos, to be precise, and finding alternatives such as yours?
I think lots of progress has been made over the last few years. We've had the times of just having the down for buses to the Molues, and now you don't see Molues on the road anymore. We have the BRT now. We have the lag bus. So I think with every year, with every dispensation, new channels are opening up. So now we have boats. We have regular boats. Boats have been there for a long time, but they weren't as standardized as we're trying to make it now. Okay. So now you're having better standardization on the waterways, and we have those boats. Maybe cable cars are going to come in next. We have a metro line that is being built. So if it's completed, once you have all those different options and you're doing mass transit through those different options, then we can decongest the roads the way they should be decongested.
Very good. Now, in terms of creating the right environment for your venture to thrive, as it were, how would you describe the Lagos State government's synergy between your partners and them?
It's been fantastic. We've gotten the best of support that we've gotten from the Lagos State Inland Waterways Authority. They have the oversight on the waterways, inland waterways in Lagos. We've gotten the best support, advice. It's always easy to go and you have a sheet that says meet these 20 requirements to be able to operate. It's not typical. It's not typical if you do lots of public sector related businesses. But we're able to have that where we know these are the things that we need to do to be able to meet the requirements for us to be on the waterways. These are the standard sizes for the boats. These are the safety equipment you need to have on board, communication equipment you need to have on board. It's easy to have that. So having those interactions, we've had a few sessions, and we're able to, get feedback on what we're doing so far, and the things we need to improve on, things we need to adjust, communication, etc. So it's been really good.
Yes, I was going to ask about the bureaucracy involved in such administrative aspect of the venture, as it were. But, where do you see this going in the next 5 years? The waterway transportation. We've always been saying, look, there's something needs to be done. It's just an untapped mine. Market is just there, and nobody's making good use of it.
Right now, over 10,000 people are being moved on the waterways every week. The goal and hope for me is that we're moving 1 million people every week, if possible. But at least 10,000 now, 50,000 next year, 100,000 in a few more years, and maybe 1 million people ultimately. Because the city is growing, we have more people moving into Lagos, and we need to be able to move them efficiently.
Very good. Now, in terms of safety, what are your plans, regarding safety itself, in terms of investment in safety and people that have that encouragement to at least take to the waterways and be assured that you get to your destination? Probably if the boat gets stuck or something, you can easily just get another one. And,
yeah, so I think that's one of the things I mentioned earlier. Before you even get started, once you have your boat, first you have your insurance on the boat. I also have the insurance that covers passengers.
Oh, it does?
Yes, you have to have insurance for your boats, insurance for the passengers.
Okay.
And every person on board has a life jacket that they wear at all times.
The responsibility of that insurance, is it borne by your company?
Yes, you have to bear that responsibility.
Okay.
And then everyone on board has a life jacket. That's on the passenger side. Now, on the boat side, there's a life buoy. There should be up to about 2 life buoys. You have your lights, you have your navigation equipment, you have your radio equipment to be able to call for rescue. And at the back end, you also have rescue boats that should be able to come meet you if there's any challenge, etc. And then, of course, you have backup boats in the case you need to move people. But most importantly is actually having experienced crew who understand the channels, experienced crew who understand how to watch the water, watch the weather, and do what they need to do and take precautions that they need to take precautions on, and also make decisions to go or not to go.
All right.
That's one of the biggest ones, deciding whether to move forward or not to move forward.
Interesting prospects there. Gossy Ukanwoke, partner, Gokada's G-Boats. A pleasure having you on the program.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.